Hello everyone, and welcome back to the English Academy. Today, we are going to talk about something that can completely change the way you think about money. This is not a motivational speech. This is not a fantasy story. And this is not a get-rich-quick video. Today, we are going to learn the hidden wealth rules that many successful people quietly follow. These are simple ideas. But simple does not mean easy. Millions of people know these rules. Very few people actually live by them. That is why some people slowly become wealthy, while others work hard for 40 years and still struggle with money. Think about this for a moment. Two people earn the same salary. They live in the same city. They have similar education. They even start working at the same age. 20 years later, one person is financially free. The other person is still waiting for the next paycheck. What happened? Was one person luckier? Maybe. But luck alone cannot explain such a huge difference. The real difference is usually hidden inside everyday decisions. Small choices. Small habits. Small thoughts. Repeated every single day. Most people believe wealth starts with money. But that is not true. Wealth starts with thinking. Before your bank account changes, your mindset must change. That is why today's lesson is not about dollars. It is not about rupees. It is about the decisions behind those dollars and rupees. Many people believe rich people have secret information. Some imagine they know special investment tricks. Others think wealthy families have magic opportunities. The truth is much simpler. Most wealthy people simply think differently. They ask different questions. They make different choices. And they stay patient much longer than everyone else. Let's imagine two friends. One receives his salary. Within 2 days, he buys new clothes, orders expensive food, upgrades his phone, pays for entertainment, and tells himself, "I deserve this." The second friend also receives the same salary. He enjoys life too. But before spending anything, he asks one simple question. Will this purchase make me richer next year? That one question changes everything. Because every dollar, every rupee, every small decision has a job. Money is like an employee. If you spend it, it works for someone else. If you invest it wisely, it starts working for you. Most people never teach their money how to work. Instead, they work harder every year. The result? More stress. More bills. More pressure. But not much more wealth. This is one of the biggest hidden rules of money. Rich people do not only work for money. They make money work for them. That sounds simple. But it changes your entire financial future. Now let me ask you another question. What does being rich really mean? Many people will say, a big house, a luxury car, expensive clothes, a high salary. But these things do not always mean wealth. Someone can earn a very high income and still be drowning in debt. Another person may drive an old car, live in a simple house, and quietly own investments worth millions. One looks rich. The other actually is rich. There is a big difference. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. Never confuse the two. Many celebrities, professional athletes, and lottery winners earned millions. Yet many of them later lost almost everything. Why? Because income without discipline disappears quickly. Real wealth is protected by habits, not by salary. Here is another hidden rule. The world teaches us how to earn money. Schools teach us subjects. Companies teach us jobs. Businesses teach us products. But very few places teach us how to keep money. And even fewer teach us how to grow it. That is why many intelligent people still struggle financially. Knowledge alone is not enough. Application changes everything. Imagine filling a bucket with water. Now imagine the bucket has 10 holes. No matter how much water you pour, the bucket never becomes full. That bucket is like your financial life. Your salary is the water. Your bad habits are the holes. Most people try to earn more water. Very few repair the holes. And that is why their financial situation never changes. The first step toward wealth is not earning more. The first step is wasting less. Notice something interesting. Successful investors rarely become excited by quick profits. Instead, they become excited about consistency. Small improvements. Small investments. Small habits. Repeated for years. The modern world tells us everything should happen fast. Fast internet. Fast food. Fast delivery. Fast success. But wealth usually grows slowly. Just like a tree. You cannot plant a seed today and expect shade tomorrow. Money follows the same law. It rewards patience. This is difficult because our brains love immediate rewards. Buying something new feels exciting. Saving money feels boring. Scrolling social media feels fun. Reading about investing feels slow. Our emotions constantly fight against our future. That is why self-control is one of the most valuable financial skills. You do not become wealthy by making one perfect decision. You become wealthy by avoiding thousands of bad decisions. Every unnecessary purchase seems small, but repeated every week, it becomes enormous. Imagine spending only $5 every day without thinking. Or 400 rupees. It feels harmless. One coffee. One snack. One online order. Nothing serious. But after 1 year, that small daily habit becomes a surprisingly large amount. Now imagine investing that same money every month for many years. The difference becomes life-changing. This is why wealthy people pay attention to small numbers. Because they know small numbers eventually become very big numbers. Another mistake many people make is comparing themselves with others. Someone buys a luxury phone, so they buy one too. Someone takes an expensive vacation. They feel pressured to do the same. Someone posts pictures of success online. They begin feeling behind in life. But remember this. Social media often shows spending. It rarely shows debt. It shows vacations. Not credit card bills. It shows luxury cars. Not monthly loan payments. Never compare your financial reality with someone else's highlights. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy financial peace. The richest people often ignore competition. Instead, they compete with the person they were yesterday. Can I save a little more? Can I learn one new skill? Can I make one better financial decision today? Those questions slowly build wealth. There is another powerful idea. Most people think money creates freedom. Actually, good decisions create freedom. Money simply follows those decisions. If you waste every opportunity, even $1 million may disappear. If you build excellent habits, even a small income can slowly grow into something remarkable. This is why mindset always comes first. Money follows behavior, not the other way around. Throughout this series, you will discover hidden wealth rules used by investors, entrepreneurs, business owners, and financially disciplined families around the world. Some ideas may sound familiar, but understanding something and living it are completely different things. Do not just listen to today's lesson. Ask yourself one question after every rule. Am I actually doing this? Because information changes nothing. Action changes everything. In the next part, we will learn the first hidden wealth rule that quietly separates ordinary earners from people who build lasting financial freedom. And once you understand this rule, you will never look at your salary the same way again. Now that you understand one important truth, wealth does not begin with money. It begins with behavior. Let's learn the first hidden wealth rule. This rule sounds simple. In fact, many people have heard it before, but only a small percentage actually follow it. The rule is this: pay yourself first. Not the bank. Not the shopping mall. Not online stores. Not restaurants. Not unnecessary subscriptions. Pay yourself first. What does that really mean? Imagine you receive your monthly salary. Most people immediately start paying bills. House rent. Electricity. Internet. Fuel. Food. Entertainment. Shopping. And whatever is left. They save. Sometimes there is nothing left. Sometimes only a few dollars. Or a few hundred rupees. Month after month. Year after year. They tell themselves, I will start saving when I earn more. But that day rarely comes. Because income usually grows. And spending grows with it. This is called lifestyle inflation. The more people earn, the more they spend. A better phone. A bigger television. More expensive clothes. A nicer restaurant. A newer car. None of these things are wrong. The problem begins when your lifestyle grows faster than your wealth. Many people receive a salary increase. But after 6 months, they feel just as broke as before. Why? Because every extra rupee found a new place to disappear. This is exactly why wealthy people follow a different system. The moment they receive income, the first payment goes toward their future. Not their present. They save. They invest. They build assets. Only after that, they spend the remaining money. This small change creates a completely different financial future. Let's use an easy example. Imagine two people each earn 60,000 Indian rupees every month. The first person spends first. At the end of the month, only 2,000 Indian rupees remains. Sometimes even less. The second person follows one simple rule. The moment the salary arrives, 10,000 Indian rupees automatically moves into investments. Now only 50,000 Indian rupees is available to spend. At first, this feels difficult. But after a few months, the brain adjusts. People naturally learn to live within the remaining amount. This is human psychology. We adjust faster than we think. Many people say, I cannot save because my salary is too small. But the question is different. Have you trained yourself to save first? Or have you trained yourself to spend first? Our habits become automatic. If every salary teaches your brain to spend immediately, that habit becomes stronger every month. But if every salary teaches your brain to invest first, that habit also becomes stronger. Remember this sentence. Your habits decide your future long before your income does. There is another interesting truth. People often believe investing requires a huge amount of money. That is not true. Successful investing is usually more about consistency than size. Imagine someone invests only a small amount every month. Not once. Not twice. But for 20 years. That money has time to grow. Time becomes their silent business partner. Most people underestimate the power of time. They expect dramatic results in 6 months. But wealth rarely works like that. It grows quietly. Almost invisibly. Then one day. People call it luck. It was never luck. It was consistency. Let's think about planting a tree. If you plant a seed today, you do not dig it up every week to check its roots. You water it. Protect it. Wait patiently. Money works the same way. Constant checking. Constant panic. Constant fear. Usually destroys long-term success. Patience is often more profitable than intelligence. One reason wealthy people become wealthier is because they understand delayed rewards. Most people want rewards today. Wealthy people are comfortable waiting. Instead of asking, "What can I buy today?" they ask, "What can this money become 10 years from now?" That one question changes every purchase decision. Suppose you want to buy the latest smartphone. Before buying, ask yourself, will this phone create income? Maybe yes. If you are a content creator, a photographer, a business owner, it may help you earn more. Then it could be an investment. But if the only reason is to impress strangers, that purchase may simply delay your financial freedom. Rich people do not ask, "Can I afford this?" They often ask, "Should I buy this at all?" These are two very different questions. Anyone can afford something once. The real question is whether it helps or hurts your future. There is another hidden trap. Discounts. Sales. Special offers. Limited time deals. Our brains love them. Companies know this. That is why stores often create urgency. Only today. Last chance. Limited stock. Many people buy things they never planned to buy. Simply because they fear missing a discount. But remember this. Saving money on something you never needed is not saving. It is still spending. Every purchase should answer one question. Will this improve my life? Or simply satisfy a temporary emotion? Emotions are expensive. Discipline is profitable. Another important lesson is automation. Successful people remove unnecessary decisions. Instead of remembering to save every month, they automate it. The money moves automatically. Why? Because willpower is unreliable. Some days you feel motivated. Some days you do not. Automation removes emotion from the process. Good financial systems beat good intentions. Every single time. Think about brushing your teeth. You probably do not debate it every morning. It became a habit. Saving and investing should become the same. Not a monthly decision. A permanent system. Many people wait for the perfect time to begin investing. After a promotion. After buying a house. After paying every loan. After earning more. But life always creates another reason to wait. The perfect time rarely arrives. The best time to build financial discipline is when you decide to begin. Even if the amount is small. Remember this powerful idea. Small investments build big habits. Big habits eventually build big wealth. The amount matters. But the habit matters even more. Because once the habit exists, increasing the amount becomes much easier. Throughout history, people who built lasting wealth were rarely the fastest. They were simply the most consistent. Day after day. Month after month. Year after year. Quiet progress. No excitement. No shortcuts. No magic. Just discipline. And discipline always looks boring. Until the results become extraordinary. So today, ask yourself one honest question. When your next salary arrives, who will receive the first payment? your future, or your spending? The answer to that one question may completely change the next 10 years of your financial life. In the next part, we will discover another hidden wealth rule: the difference between assets and liabilities. This single idea has changed the financial lives of millions of people. And once you understand it, you will never look at money in the same way again. Now you know the first hidden wealth rule. Pay yourself first. But here is another rule. A rule that completely changes the way wealthy people look at money. This rule is simple. Yet millions of people ignore it every single day. The rule is this: know the difference between an asset and a liability. Most people think wealth comes from earning more. In reality, wealth grows because people own the right things. Let's understand this in very simple English. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket, or increases in value over time. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Again. And again. And again. The difference sounds small, but it changes everything. Imagine two friends receive a bonus from work. The first friend immediately buys the newest phone. The second friend buys shares of a good company, or invests in a mutual fund, or starts a small side business. 5 years later, the first phone has almost no value. The investment may have grown. The business may be earning money every month. One purchase created happiness for a few weeks. The other purchase created financial opportunities for years. This is how wealthy people think. Before spending money, they ask, will this become an asset or a liability? That one question prevents thousands of bad financial decisions. Now, let's clear up one common misunderstanding. A house can be an asset, but not every house is automatically an asset. If a house keeps costing you money, large loans, high maintenance, expensive repairs, and gives you no financial return, then financially, it behaves more like a liability. On the other hand, if a property earns rental income, or grows significantly in value over time, then it can become an asset. The same object, different financial result. This is why wealthy people focus on cash flow, not just ownership. They ask, what is this thing doing to my money? Not, how impressive does it look? Unfortunately, modern society encourages appearance more than financial intelligence. People celebrate expensive purchases. Rarely do they celebrate smart investments. Someone buys a luxury car. Everyone notices. Someone quietly invests every month for 20 years. Almost nobody notices. But 20 years later, the investor often has something far more valuable than the luxury car. Remember this. Attention does not create wealth. Ownership does. There is another invisible trap. EMIs. Monthly payments make expensive things feel cheap. Instead of asking, can I afford 20 Indian rupees lakh? People ask, can I afford 28,000 Indian rupees every month? That small change in thinking is dangerous. Because monthly payments hide the real cost. One EMI becomes two. Two become four. Soon, half the salary disappears before the month even begins. Financial freedom slowly disappears. Not because of one big mistake, but because of many small commitments. Wealthy people understand something important. Every monthly payment reduces future choices. The more fixed expenses you have, the less freedom you have. Freedom is one of the greatest forms of wealth. Imagine waking up every morning knowing, no matter what happens, you have investments, emergency savings, income-producing assets. No panic. No constant stress. That feeling is worth far more than impressing strangers. Another hidden wealth rule is this. Do not confuse price with value. Price is what you pay. Value is what you receive. A 500 Indian rupees book that teaches you a valuable skill may earn you lakhs during your lifetime. A 50,000 Indian rupees phone may lose value every single day. One looks expensive. The other creates opportunity. Successful people spend freely on knowledge and carefully on status. Because knowledge usually pays you back. Status usually asks for more money. Look at many successful entrepreneurs. Before buying luxury items, most invested in learning. Books. Skills. Courses. Experience. Networking. These things rarely look exciting on social media. But they often produce extraordinary long-term results. There is another powerful lesson. Assets are like employees. Every good asset works 24 hours a day. Even while you are sleeping. A business can earn money. Investments can grow. Rental property can produce income. Royalties can continue paying. Digital products can sell automatically. Your money begins working. Even when you are resting. Now compare that with liabilities. A car needs fuel. Insurance. Repairs. Maintenance. A luxury watch may need servicing. Expensive gadgets lose value quickly. These things continuously ask for more money. One group works for you. The other group waits for you to work harder. This is why wealthy people slowly collect assets before collecting luxuries. Another important idea is opportunity cost. This is one of the most ignored financial concepts. Every time you spend money, you are also giving up another opportunity. Suppose you spend Indian rupee 1,000,000 on something unnecessary. You did not only lose Indian rupee 1,000,000. You also lost everything that money could have become in the future. Future investment growth. Future business opportunities. Future passive income. Every spending decision has a hidden cost. That hidden cost is called opportunity cost. The richest people constantly think about it. Average people rarely do. Here is a simple habit you can start today. Whenever you want to buy something expensive, wait for 48 hours. Do not buy immediately. Give your emotions time to calm down. If after 2 days, you still believe it adds real value to your life, then make the decision carefully. You will be surprised how many unnecessary purchases disappear after just 2 days. Emotions are temporary. Financial decisions often last for years. This is why patience saves money. Many people think financial success comes from earning 6 figures, or becoming famous, or building a huge company. Those things can certainly help. But they are not the starting point. The starting point is learning to recognize the difference between things that make you richer and things that quietly make you poorer. That awareness changes everything. Every successful investor, every disciplined entrepreneur, every financially wise family learns this lesson early. Collect assets. Control liabilities. Repeat for many years. It sounds boring. But boring habits often produce extraordinary wealth. Never feel embarrassed because your investments are invisible. Invisible assets often create visible success later. The expensive lifestyle people admire today is often built on years of quiet financial discipline that nobody ever saw. Remember this sentence. Rich people buy assets first. Luxury later. Average people often buy luxury first. And hope wealth comes later. That hope rarely works. In the next part, we will learn another hidden wealth rule. Why time is more valuable than money. And why people who understand compounding give themselves an advantage that becomes almost impossible to catch. So far, we have learned two powerful wealth rules. First, pay yourself first. Second, buy assets before liabilities. Now let us learn another rule. A rule that almost every wealthy person understands. Time is more valuable than money. At first, this sounds strange. Most people believe money is the most valuable thing in life. But think carefully. If someone gives you $1 million today, you become richer. But if someone gives you 10 extra years of healthy life, would you refuse them? Of course not. Because money can be earned again. Time cannot. Every successful investor knows one important truth. Money grows because of time. Not because of magic. This is called compounding. Albert Einstein is often credited with calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Whether or not he actually said it, the idea itself is incredibly powerful. Compounding simply means your money earns money. And then that new money also starts earning money. Imagine a tiny snowball rolling down a mountain. At first, it looks very small. Almost impossible to notice. But as it continues rolling, it becomes larger. Then larger again. Eventually, it becomes enormous. Money behaves in the same way. The beginning always looks slow. That is why most people quit too early. They expect big results in 1 year. When they don't see them, they stop investing. They stop saving. They stop believing. And they start all over again. Successful people understand something different. The first few years are not exciting. They are building the foundation. Think about a bamboo tree. After planting it, you may see almost nothing for several years. It looks like nothing is happening. But underground, the roots are growing stronger every single day. Then suddenly, the tree grows very quickly. People think the growth happened overnight. It did not. The invisible work happened first. Wealth follows the same pattern. The invisible years create the visible success. That is why patience is not weakness. Patience is a financial advantage. Another mistake people make is believing they can always start later. I'll invest next year. I'll save after my promotion. I'll think about retirement when I'm older. These sentences sound harmless. But they are extremely expensive. Because every year you delay, you lose something that can never be recovered. Time. Imagine two people. One starts investing at 25. The other starts at 35. The first person has only 10 extra years. But those 10 years can create an enormous difference. Not because they invested much more, but because compounding had more time to work. This is why wealthy parents often teach their children about money early. Not because children have a lot of money. Because children have a lot of time. Time is the greatest financial gift. Here is another hidden truth. Most people trade all of their time for money. They work 1 hour. They receive 1 hour's pay. Nothing is wrong with that. But wealthy people slowly begin asking a different question. How can I stop selling all my time? This question changes everything. Instead of depending on one salary forever, they build systems, investments, businesses, digital products, rental income, royalties, dividend-paying assets. Each one creates income without requiring every hour of their day. This does not happen overnight. It happens little by little. One step at a time. Many people dream about becoming financially free. But financial freedom is not winning a lottery. Financial freedom is slowly replacing earned income. with income created by assets. That process takes time. And that is perfectly normal. The problem is, most people underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. And overestimate what they can achieve in 6 months. We live in a world of instant results. Instant food. Instant delivery. Instant entertainment. Instant messages. Our brains become impatient. But money follows different rules. Money rewards consistency, not urgency. There is another important lesson. Every day, you are investing. Even if you do not realize it. The only question is, what are you investing in? Some people invest in new skills. Others invest in entertainment. Some invest in health. Others invest in unhealthy habits. Some invest in books. Others invest in endless scrolling. Time is an investment. Whether you choose wisely or not. Think about the most successful people you know. Doctors. Business owners. Engineers. Scientists. Entrepreneurs. Athletes. Artists. None of them became successful in 1 week. Their success was built through thousands of ordinary days. Small improvements. Repeated consistently. James Clear explains this beautifully in the idea of improving by just 1% every day. 1% sounds tiny. Almost meaningless. But small improvements repeated consistently create extraordinary results over time. Money works exactly the same way. Small savings. Small investments. Small improvements. Repeated for years. Become something incredible. Another hidden wealth rule is this. Protect your future self. Imagine meeting yourself 10 years from today. What would that future version say? Would they thank you for investing? For learning? For avoiding unnecessary debt? Or would they ask, why did you wait so long? Every financial decision you make today is a gift or a burden for your future self. That is why wealthy people think in decades, not weekends. Average people often ask, what will make me happy today? Successful people also ask, what will make my future life easier? That second question changes everything. Never forget this. Money lost can be earned again. Time lost cannot. That is why protecting your time, learning valuable skills, and allowing your investments to grow are some of the smartest financial decisions you will ever make. Because the earlier you understand the power of time, the less you will need to depend only on hard work later in life. In the next part, we will discover another hidden wealth rule. Why the richest people never depend on only one source of income. And how they quietly build multiple streams of wealth without taking unnecessary risks. So far, we have learned 3 powerful wealth rules. Pay yourself first. Buy assets before liabilities. Respect the power of time. Now let us learn another hidden rule. One that quietly separates financially secure people from those who constantly worry about money. The rule is simple. Never depend on only one source of income. Imagine a table with only one leg. Would you trust it? Of course not. The moment that one leg breaks, the entire table falls. Now think about your financial life. If your entire income comes from one salary, your financial table also has only one leg. As long as everything goes well, you feel safe. But what happens if the company closes? What happens if the economy slows down? What happens if technology changes your industry? What happens if you become sick for several months? Suddenly, one income source no longer feels secure. This is why wealthy people rarely depend on only one stream of income. They slowly build another. And then another. Not because they are greedy. Because they understand risk. The goal is not to work 24 hours a day. The goal is to create income that continues even when one source becomes weak. Think about a river. A river becomes powerful because many small streams flow into it. Your financial life should look the same. One salary. One investment. One side business. One skill that earns extra income. Maybe dividends. Maybe rental income. Maybe digital products. Maybe freelancing. Maybe teaching online. Individually. Each stream may seem small. Together, they create strength. Many people hear the words, multiple income streams, and immediately think, I need to start a huge business. That is not true. Building another income stream does not always require a large investment. Sometimes, it begins with one valuable skill. Imagine someone learns graphic design. They work a regular job during the day. In the evening, they complete 2 small freelance projects every month. The extra income may not be huge at first. But over time, their skills improve. Their clients increase. Their confidence grows. Years later, that small side income could become a successful business. Every large business was once very small. The important thing is not the size. The important thing is the direction. Successful people always ask, what can I build today? That can continue helping me tomorrow? This question changes the way they spend their evenings. Some people spend every free hour consuming entertainment. Others spend part of that time creating value. Learning. Building. Practicing. Improving. The difference is invisible today, but enormous after 10 years. There is another important truth. Your first investment should often be yourself. Many people immediately think about stocks, gold, real estate, mutual funds. These are excellent tools. But before all of them, ask yourself, what skill can increase my income? A valuable skill can produce returns for decades. Imagine improving your communication skills. Leadership. Writing. Programming. Sales. Public speaking. Marketing. Negotiation. Problem solving. Every one of these skills can increase your earning power. Unlike expensive gadgets, skills usually become more valuable over time. The world changes quickly. Technology changes. Industries change. Jobs change. But people who continue learning usually continue growing. This is why wealthy people invest heavily in education. Not only formal education. Continuous education. Books. Courses. Mentors. Experience. Practice. Learning never stops. Here is another hidden rule. Income grows when you solve problems. Think about every successful business. A restaurant solves hunger. A doctor solves health problems. A teacher solves learning problems. A mechanic solves vehicle problems. A software company solves business problems. Money usually follows value. The more valuable problems you solve, the greater your earning potential becomes. Instead of asking, how can I make more money? Try asking, how can I become more valuable? That single question changes your focus. Money becomes the result, not the goal. Another common mistake is believing that passive income is completely effortless. That is a myth. Almost every passive income stream requires active effort first. A business must be built. A book must be written. A course must be created. Investments must be researched. Rental property must be purchased. The work comes first. The rewards come later. This is another example of delayed gratification. Successful people are willing to work today for benefits they may not fully enjoy until years later. Most people want rewards before effort. Life rarely works that way. There is another lesson wealthy people understand. Do not increase your lifestyle every time your income increases. Imagine you receive a promotion. Your salary grows by 20%. Many people immediately upgrade everything. A larger apartment. A more expensive car. Luxury brands. Better restaurants. Soon, the higher salary disappears. Instead, financially disciplined people often increase their investments first. Then, if money still remains, they slowly improve their lifestyle. This habit creates freedom instead of pressure. Remember, a higher income does not automatically create wealth. A higher savings rate often does. Another hidden danger is depending on trends. Every year, people chase the newest opportunity. One year it is cryptocurrency. Another year it is artificial intelligence. Then real estate. Then something else. Successful investors do not chase every trend. They build strong financial foundations first. Emergency savings. Regular investing. Good financial habits. Then, only if appropriate, they explore new opportunities carefully. Excitement is not a financial strategy. Discipline is. There is one more powerful idea. Diversification. Imagine planting only one type of crop. If disease destroys that crop, everything is lost. Now imagine growing several different crops. If one performs badly, the others may still succeed. The same idea applies to money. Depending entirely on one investment, one company, or one income source, creates unnecessary risk. Wealthy people spread their risk wisely. Not because they fear failure. Because they respect uncertainty. No one can predict the future perfectly. The future always surprises us. That is why smart financial planning prepares for uncertainty instead of ignoring it. By now, you may notice a pattern. None of these hidden wealth rules promise overnight success. None of them promise easy money. None of them depend on luck. Instead, they depend on discipline, patience, consistency, learning, and wise decisions repeated over many years. That may not sound exciting, but it works. And the people who quietly follow these rules often become the people everyone later calls lucky. In the next part, we will discover perhaps the most powerful wealth rule of all. The psychology of money. Because the biggest battle for financial success is not in your bank account. It is inside your mind. So far, we have learned about saving first, buying assets, respecting time, and building multiple income streams. Now we come to perhaps the most important wealth rule of all. Your financial success depends more on your behavior than on your intelligence. This may surprise you. Many people believe becoming wealthy requires a very high IQ, or a degree from a famous university, or perfect knowledge of the stock market. Those things can certainly help, but they are not the biggest factor. If intelligence alone created wealth, every brilliant student would become financially free. Every successful scientist would become a millionaire. Every financial expert would never lose money. But real life tells a different story. Money is less about mathematics and more about psychology. The biggest financial battles happen inside your mind, not inside your wallet. Think about this. Why do people buy things they cannot afford? To impress people they do not even know. Why do people continue spending, even when they already have enough? Why do people panic and sell investments? Exactly when prices are low. These are not intelligence problems. They are emotional problems. And emotions are expensive. One of the most dangerous emotions is comparison. Today, social media makes comparison easier than ever. You open your phone. Someone is driving a luxury car. Someone is traveling to another country. Someone just bought a new house. Someone is wearing expensive clothes. After seeing hundreds of pictures, your own life suddenly feels smaller. But remember something important. People usually share their best moments. They rarely share their biggest financial mistakes. Nobody proudly posts, "My credit card debt increased today." Nobody celebrates, "I spent my emergency savings on unnecessary shopping." You are comparing your real life with someone else's edited highlights. That comparison is unfair. And it often leads to poor financial decisions. Wealthy people understand this. They focus less on looking rich and more on becoming rich. Looking rich is expensive. Becoming rich requires patience. Another powerful emotion is fear. Fear keeps many people poor. Some people are afraid to invest. Others are afraid to start a business. Some are afraid to learn a new skill. Others fear making mistakes. So they wait. And wait. And wait. Years pass. Nothing changes. Successful people also feel fear. The difference is, they act carefully despite that fear. Courage does not mean having no fear. It means refusing to let fear control every decision. Then there is another dangerous emotion. Greed. Greed tells people, you need more. It is not enough. Take bigger risks. Double your money quickly. History has shown this many times. Whenever people believe they have found an easy way to become rich, many end up losing everything. Scams often succeed because they promise something people desperately want. Fast wealth. Easy money. Guaranteed profits. Real wealth rarely grows that way. Slow progress may feel boring, but it is usually much safer. Another hidden wealth rule is learning to delay gratification. Imagine a small child sitting at a table. There is one cookie in front of them. An adult says, "You can eat this cookie now." Or, "If you wait 15 minutes, you will receive 2 cookies." Some children eat the first cookie immediately. Others wait. This simple idea has been studied for many years. People who learn to delay rewards often make better long-term decisions. Money works the same way. Every time you avoid an unnecessary purchase, you are choosing a larger future reward over a smaller present reward. This habit may not feel exciting today, but your future self will thank you. Here is another lesson. Your environment shapes your financial habits. Imagine one person spends time with people who constantly complain about money, who buy things only to impress others, who never save, who avoid learning. Slowly, those habits begin to feel normal. Now imagine another person. Their friends discuss books, business ideas, investing, improving skills, healthy habits. Those conversations slowly influence their thinking. Success is often contagious. But so are bad habits. Choose your environment carefully. There is another invisible enemy. Impulse. Companies spend billions of dollars learning how to make people buy more. Bright advertisements, special discounts, flash sales, limited time offers, beautiful packaging. Everything is designed to influence emotions. That is why successful people create rules for themselves. Never buy expensive items immediately. Wait. Think. Compare. Ask questions. Good decisions rarely require panic. If someone says, "You must decide right now," be careful. Pressure often benefits the seller, not the buyer. Another powerful financial habit is gratitude. This may not sound like a money lesson, but it is. People who are never satisfied can never have enough. Their income grows. Their lifestyle grows even faster. They continue chasing happiness through spending. But happiness purchased through consumption usually disappears quickly. Meanwhile, people who appreciate what they already have often make calmer financial decisions. Gratitude reduces unnecessary spending. It helps people distinguish between wants and needs. One more hidden rule. Never allow your identity to depend on your possessions. You are not your car. You are not your phone. You are not your watch. You are not your clothes. Those things can be useful, but they do not define your value. The moment your self-worth depends on expensive possessions, you become easy to manipulate. Advertisements begin controlling your emotions. Comparison controls your confidence. Spending becomes emotional instead of logical. Financial freedom begins when your confidence comes from your character, not your purchases. The richest person in the room is not always the one wearing the most expensive clothes. Often, the richest person is the quietest. Because real wealth does not always need attention. Finally, remember this. Money simply makes you more of who you already are. If you are disciplined, more money gives you more opportunities. If you are careless, more money creates bigger mistakes. That is why building good habits before becoming wealthy is so important. Behavior comes first. Money comes second. Master your emotions, and you will make better financial decisions. Make better financial decisions, and wealth becomes much more likely. In the final part, we will bring every hidden wealth rule together. Learn what truly separates wealthy families from everyone else, and create a simple action plan that you can begin following from today. We have now reached the final part of this lesson. Over the last few sections, we have discovered 6 hidden wealth rules. Pay yourself first. Buy assets before liabilities. Respect the power of time. Build multiple income streams. Master your financial psychology. And remember, wealth begins with behavior, not income. Now let us bring all of these ideas together. Because knowing these rules is not enough. You must live them. There is one final truth that quietly separates wealthy families from everyone else. Wealth is not built in one generation. It is built through habits that continue from one generation to the next. Many people believe rich families stay rich because they inherit money. Money certainly helps. But money alone cannot protect wealth forever. History has shown that many wealthy families lost everything within 1 or 2 generations. Why? Because they inherited money, but not financial discipline. On the other hand, many ordinary families slowly became financially successful. Not because they won the lottery. Not because they became famous. But because they passed down good habits. Saving. Investing. Learning. Avoiding unnecessary debt. Living below their means. Teaching children about money. Those habits became more valuable than any inheritance. Here is something interesting. Most wealthy people do not ask, "How much money do I have today?" Instead, they ask, "How healthy is my financial system?" Because systems create results. Imagine 2 people. The first person suddenly receives 10 million rupees, but continues spending carelessly, ignoring investments, buying unnecessary luxuries. Within a few years, Most of that money may disappear. Now imagine another person. They earn an average salary. But every month, they save first. Invest regularly. Continue learning. Avoid unnecessary debt. Increase their skills. Build additional income. After 20 years, who is more likely to become financially independent? Usually, the second person. Because systems always defeat luck in the long run. There is another lesson. Do not chase wealth. Create value. When you solve problems, help people, build useful products, improve your skills, or provide excellent service, money often follows naturally. Successful people focus on becoming valuable. Average people often focus only on becoming rich. The difference is important. Value creates income. Income creates investments. Investments create wealth. The process cannot be rushed. Now let us create a simple action plan. Not for next year. Not for next month. Starting today. Step 1. Track every rupee or dollar you spend for the next 30 days. Do not judge yourself. Simply observe. Awareness is the first step toward improvement. Step 2. Choose a fixed percentage of your income to save or invest first. Even if it is only 5%. Build the habit before increasing the amount. Step 3. Create an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Unexpected expenses are normal. Preparation reduces panic. Step 4. Read for at least 20 minutes every day. A good financial book. A business book. Or a book that improves your thinking. Knowledge compounds just like money. Step 5. Learn one new skill every year. Communication. Technology. Leadership. Sales. Writing. Artificial intelligence. Marketing. Every valuable skill increases your future opportunities. Step 6. Before every expensive purchase, ask one simple question. Will this make me richer? Or only look richer? That single question can save you thousands of dollars. Or lakhs of rupees. During your lifetime. Step 7. Be patient. The world celebrates quick success. But lasting wealth usually grows quietly. Never feel discouraged because your progress looks slow. The strongest trees grow one ring at a time. Your financial life works exactly the same way. One smart decision. One investment. One book. One skill. One habit. Repeated consistently. That is how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. Before we finish, remember one final idea. Your income can change your lifestyle. But your habits change your future. If you leave this video remembering only one sentence, let it be this. Small financial decisions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary wealth, ***. Not overnight. Not next month. But over the years. Those small decisions become a completely different life. Perhaps one day, someone will look at your success and say, "You were lucky." Smile. Because you will know the truth. Luck did not build your future. Discipline did. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this lesson helped you improve not only your English, but also the way you think about money. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like this video. Share it with someone who wants to build a better financial future. And subscribe to the English Academy for more easy English stories and life-changing lessons. Keep learning. Keep growing. And remember, the best investment you will ever make is the investment you make in yourself. See you in the next lesson.